Good morning, boys and girls. It's Monday, May 11th. Today, you're going to be doing your ALEKS lessons. You need to get 30 minutes on ALEKS and pass 3 lessons. I'm also going to be showing you some examples on how to find the volume of a cone. I'm also going to introduce you to the Google slide assignment. We started that last week, and I just kind of want to go over that with you briefly. Some kids had some questions on how to do that, and it's new to me too, so bear with me. I have a couple of Pinterest posts. I never thought the comment, "I wouldn't touch him or her with a 6-foot pole," would become a national policy, but here we are. And teacher, being a streamer or a YouTuber isn't a real job. Teachers now. Yeah, well. Onto the Google Slides. Let's look at these first. When you open your Google Slide assignment, this will be the first slide. All right. This tells you that what you have to do this week on Edge Elastic, you'll have to complete Lesson 10-2 Practice E. That won't show up on Edge Elastic until tomorrow. Slide 2, answer the 3 questions on Slide 2. I'll show you that in a minute. Slide 3 has example responses to help you with Slide 2. Slide 4 is optional. It's guess what the zoomed in object was. Slide 5 tells you how to turn in your Google Slides. There's a little video too that even kind of takes you through it. And Slide 6 shows you the answer to last week's Guess the Object game. So, and here it says, if you have any questions, email me. There are 3 assignments this week and they're highlighted in yellow. And then you can click and drag these little check marks next to the items once you finish them, just for fun. So after you finish Practice E on Edge Elastic, we want you to answer these questions, all right? Write 1 sentence to explain how to find the volume of a cone, right? The cone and cylinder formulas are similar because, and I'll tell you that in this video, one difference between the formulas is, and you'll know that by the end of the video, and I would describe the radius as. Now, if you don't really know what to put in these, we've provided example responses on the next slide. All you do is you move this little image, or move this one, or move this one to get a sample answer. On this slide, this is the Guess the Object game. All right, this is an object that we have zoomed in on, and you just type in here what you think it is, just for fun. This slide tells you how to turn in your Google Slide assignment. Okay, these are the steps. If you can't follow the steps, there's an accompanying video that actually takes you through the steps and shows you exactly how to do it. On the last slide, it tells you the answer to last week's Guess the Object. Last week's Guess the Object was a crayon, and a lot of you got it right, so that's awesome. These were some incorrect answers, and it's just fun, okay? It's just for fun. So that's your Google Slide. Let's look at, I have some examples here. We're talking about the volume of a cone this week, all right? So here we have, this is what a cone looks like. It has a circular base and it comes up to a point on the other end. The volume of a cone, the formula is 1/3, always 1/3, times the radius, which you know radius is halfway, half of the diameter. It's from the center of the circle to the edge. You'll square the radius, and then times the height is how tall is the cone. Okay. Some vocabulary that you'll be asked to identify in the Edge Elastic assignment. This is the base of the cone, this circular base. The radius is the distance from the center of the circle to the edge. The height is how tall the cone is. The vertex of the cone is this top pointy part. And this distance is called the slant height. We encountered that when we were using the Pythagorean theorem. One thing I want to mention to you, when you're looking at the formula for the volume of a cone and the formula for the volume of the cylinder, how are these formulas the same? Well, they both have pi, they both use radius squared, and they both use height. How are they different? The cylinder doesn't have the 1/3 that the cone has. You know why? It takes 3 cones with the exact same base as the cylinder to equal the volume of the cylinder. That's why this is basically the formula for a cylinder divided by 3, all right? Because it takes 3 cones to fill a cylinder with the same radius and height. All right, so one way we're going to ask you to use the formula is we're going to ask you to use 3.14 for pi, okay? Well, let me do this as an example here. Get on pen. If we were going to solve this problem, we use the 1/3, then we multiply that times pi. We've told you to use 3.14 this time, so we'll put 3.14 in there, times the radius squared. Don't be tricked by this. This is the diameter. You need radius. Radius is half of this. So the radius for this cone is 4. And we're going to square that times the height. Oops, what I do now. Times the height, and the height is 9. So we're going to multiply all this together to get the volume of this cone. And when we do, we just plug it all into a calculator, and the calculator is enabled on the Edge Elastic assignment. When you plug all this in, you will get approximately 150.72. We are offering multiple choice answers for these because of rounding. So once you get your answer, just pick the multiple choice response that's closest to what you got. Another kind of problem that we're going to be asking you to do is we're going to ask you to use the pi symbol instead of 3.14. This actually makes the problem much easier. The volume of this cone would be 1/3 times pi, and we're just going to leave pi in there. We're not going to substitute. The radius on this is 2, so we go 2 squared, and the height on this is 8. So in your calculator, you multiply 1/3 times 2 squared, which would be 4, times 8. All right? And you will find that you get 10.6 repeating times pi. And you just write the number you get multiplying these three things together and then the pi symbol at the end. It's kind of like a variable in this case. So be careful you read the directions on them. Here we have a problem where we're actually giving you the volume and asking you to find the height. So let's see. We are telling you that the volume is approximately, and I'm using the words approximately because we're rounding. The volume is approximately 183.16, so I'm going to put that where the V would have gone. And it has a radius of 5. How tall is he? Well, so that means height is the thing we don't know. So we are going to use the 1/3 that we always use. We are going to use 3.14 for pi. And the radius is 5, so that would be 5 squared. And times h, because that's the thing we don't know. Okay, so what we're going to do then is we're going to go ahead and multiply all these numbers together. The 1/3 times the 3.14 times 5 squared, and we get 26.12. 0.16 repeating h, right? How do you get h by itself? Well, it's being multiplied with this 26.16, so we just divide both sides by 26.16, and we find that the height, and you'll get like 7.00 something, but the height in this case would be 7 approximately. Well, that's all the examples I have for today. Tomorrow we will have, let me give you the word of the day. If you want to get credit for watching the video. This is a really cute movie. It came out in the 90s. I can only find it on Stars though, so you can't watch it on Netflix, but it was really funny. If you've never seen it, it's worth watching. Tomorrow I will do a walkthrough of the assignment on Edge Elastic where there are 5 problems, and I'll give you an idea how to solve each of those 5. And in the meantime, I hope you have a great Monday, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Bye.